On April 11th, 2026, the Vice President of the United States flew to Islamabad. 21 hours of negotiations, Iran across the table, the fate of the Strait of Hormuz in the balance. And when Vance left, there was no deal. But a ceasefire still came. And the country that made it happen was not the United States. It was not China. It was not the European Union. It was Pakistan. Now, everyone is asking the same question. How did Pakistan, a country with a collapsing economy, a nuclear standoff with India just 12 months ago, and a government that has been on the IMF's emergency list for years, how did Pakistan become the most important diplomatic actor in the most consequential war of 2026? The answer is not what you think. It is not about geography. It is not about religion. It is not about Pakistan's historic ties with Iran or its relationship with the United States. It is about a crypto deal signed 6 weeks before the war began, in a room with the Trump family's business partner and Pakistan's most powerful man. Let me take you back to January 14th, 2026, Islamabad. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is in the room. Pakistan's army chief and de facto ruler, Field Marshal Asim Munir, is in the room. And across the table sits Zachary Witkoff, co-founder and CEO of World Liberty Financial, the cryptocurrency venture owned by the Trump family. What they signed that day was a memorandum of understanding. Pakistan's government would explore integrating World Liberty's $1 stablecoin into its national payment system. Cross-border digital payments, financial inclusion, very technical language. But here is what the technical language does not say. The Trump family collectively owns 22.5 billion tokens of World Liberty Financial, valued at approximately $3.8 billion as of that same month. And Zachary Witkoff's father is Steve Witkoff, Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, the man who sat across from Iranian officials during ceasefire negotiations, the man who flew to Islamabad on Air Force Two alongside J.D. Vance. Father at the peace table, son at the business table, 6 weeks apart now. Before this sounds like a conspiracy, let me be precise. There is no confirmed evidence that the crypto deal was a direct payment for diplomatic access. Bloomberg raised the question. Pakistan's government denied it. The White House denied it. And those denials may be entirely truthful. But what is not deniable is the timeline. And what the timeline shows is a masterclass in Pakistani statecraft. Because here is what Pakistan did between January and April 2026. In January, it signed the crypto deal, becoming one of the first sovereign governments to formally partner with World Liberty Financial. In the same month, Munir visited Washington. Trump invited him to lunch, the first time a sitting US president had personally hosted Pakistan's army chief. Because here is what Pakistan did between January and April 2026. In January, it signed the crypto deal, becoming one of the first sovereign governments to formally partner with World Liberty Financial. In the same month, Munir visited Washington. Trump invited him to lunch, the first time a sitting US president had personally hosted Pakistan's army chief. In February, Pakistan signed a mutual defense pact with Saudi Arabia, unprecedented. The first such agreement Pakistan had ever signed. In March, as the Iran war exploded across the Middle East, Pakistan positioned itself as neutral, condemning neither side. Iranian tankers flew Pakistani flags through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran allowed them through as a signal of goodwill toward Islamabad. And in April, when Washington needed someone Iran would actually talk to, there was only one option: Pakistan. Islamabad relayed a 15-point American peace plan to Iranian officials. Pakistan Air Force jets F-16S and JF-17S provided air cover for the Iranian delegation flying to negotiations, with transponders switched off. A military escort for the enemy delegation by the mediating country. This does not happen in normal diplomacy. A ceasefire followed. Now let's talk about what Pakistan actually got from all of this. It got something that money cannot easily buy: relevance. For 20 years, the dominant assumption in Washington was this: India is the rising democratic partner. Pakistan is the duplicitous spoiler. That framework is now broken. Pakistan mediated a deal that India could not, that Europe could not, that China would not. And it got something more concrete too. The United States and Pakistan reached a separate trade agreement to develop Pakistan's oil reserves. Trump lifted several long-standing restrictions on military cooperation. And the crypto deal, whatever its ultimate significance, positioned Pakistan inside the financial ecosystem of the Trump family at a moment when that ecosystem was making decisions that shaped the world. Is this corruption, or is this just how diplomacy has always worked, with different currencies in different eras? During the Cold War, countries bought influence with military basing rights. In the 1990s, with market access. In the 2000s, with intelligence cooperation. In 2026, Pakistan may have bought its seat at the table with a stablecoin. And here is the part that nobody is saying out loud. If Pakistan's strategy worked, and by any measurable standard it did, then it has just published a blueprint for every middle power watching from the sidelines, every country that cannot match the United States militarily or economically, every government that has been told it is too small, too unstable, too unreliable to matter. The message is simple: find what the superpowers family wants, give them a piece of it, and wait. That is not cynicism, that is observation. And in a world where the rules of diplomacy are being rewritten in real time, it may be the most important strategic lesson of this entire war. Here is the question I want to leave you with. Pakistan signed a crypto deal with the Trump family in January. 6 weeks later, a war started. 6 weeks after that, Pakistan was mediating the ceasefire. We may never know how much of that sequence was planned and how much was opportunism at the highest level. But ask yourself this: does it matter? Leave your answer in the comments. I read every single one. If this is the kind of analysis you come here for, you know what to do.